We go inside now to explore the importance of our time and worth. It might be termed our worthwhileness. In the grand scheme of creation, in what I'm learning and remembering, life was meant to be joyful and purposeful. Some people have been living their life of purpose with their special skills and talents utilized, developed, and appreciated. For many others, life has been a struggle, a survival mode with countless challenges. Most have had both extremes as their life path, at one time or another. The usurpation of our freedom, our joy, and our purposes in living was not, I believe, the original intent of our Creator. Instead, we have been invaded by foreign entities in body, mind, and spirit. Tavistock, European and Asian bloodline families, heritages, alien interventions, technologies, and other insidious forces. All have permeated our trusting, vulnerable vessels, insidiously deceiving, bending, and using our God-given free will. This awakening to and remembering of our essence, of who we truly are, is the great turning. Time and history, and the history of time, as we have been deceived to believe, are crumbling, along with the foundations falsely and shakily built on older structures and cultures. We have been subjugated to be of little but monetary value to the overlorders, when in fact we are remembering, knowing, and are becoming more outspoken as to our value, our merit, our purpose on this glorious planet. This is our time. We are here to share and shine our light, our true essence, our purpose, and our knowing in certain powerful ways. We each know of what I speak. This is the voice of creation itself, recharging, renewing, reminding, becoming, a surrection. For we were gifted and embodied to accomplish much here. Awash in the Creator's magnificent love and grace by design, we are, and so it is.
Cynthia Palmatier. Name and address, please.
Okay. My name is Cynthia Palmatier, 5255 Southeast Lambert Street, Portland, Oregon. We are 4 members of our Article 3, 1 Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction, Article 7, Amendment 7 Jure, Civilian Common Law Court of Record, having implemented Ex parte Milligan on Oregon. This is from Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness, and they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. We are here to petition for redress of grievances. This is a formal demand in living testimony. Proper oaths and bondability for all 36 sheriffs and their deputies on Oregon, among them is Sam Elliott, occupying the office of sheriff for Yamhill County. This formal demand is presented to the Yamhill County Commissioners for your records, ORS 206 DPSST, Yamhill County Human Resources, and Yamhill County Recorder all must be adhered to. We expect accountability from the county commissioners, some of whom we met with personally and our previous presentations here before you. Responsibility, authority, and accountability rests with the commissioners of our counties. They must hold their county sheriff and deputies responsible for knowing their constitutional obligations. They must know the difference between jure and de facto. They must know the difference between a pledge to the U.S. corporation versus a pledge to the people. They must know the United States of America and Oregon's Constitution, both circa 1859, defined by Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition. They must know the significance and difference of the illegal or illegitimate change made in Article 7, i.e. original versus amended in the Oregon Constitution. This should be considered a demand. I also would like to address with regards to our sheriffs, that we have a state gathering of sheriffs organization that happens once a year. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a national organization conference of sheriffs. And I just want to make a point that sheriffs belong to the people on each and every county. They don't belong to the federal government. And I know that they take an oath to the Constitution, and it should be the original Constitution, but they gather and as though they're a group, and they've honestly, I believe they've been federalized now, and they shouldn't be like that. They belong to the people of each and every one of these counties. And I yield. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to call up next Bobby Graves. Come on up and name and address, please.
I'm Robert Graves. They call me Bobby. I claim to be 12 years old. It's my story. I'm sticking with it.
What's your address, Bobby?
I live in Eugene, 1830 Grove Street in Eugene, but my family's from here and we founded this county. We're the first family here. That's right, when it was all called Yamhill, not Yamhill. My grandfather helped write the Constitution in 1857, finished in September. It took a long time to get the paperwork to Washington, but they finally did. So 59, Valentine's Day, we were in the Union as well. Two different processes. Becoming a state is one thing, being in the Union is another thing. Congress doesn't make states, people do. Now, I've talked to a lot of sheriffs. Now they won't let me in. Why? What's going on? Well, they think they have a legal counsel. Let's talk about that. They don't have any legal counsel. Anybody who belongs to the so-called Bar Association, and it's worldwide, by the way, I don't care what they call it locally, it's in every country on the planet, is a British organization. It has a temple. It's in the old city London in Westminster neighborhood, just one block off of Fleet Street. I know exactly where it is. It's called the Corporation. It's never been part of England, ever. It's owned by the Vatican. That's what's going on. So the sheriffs think they have a legal counsel, and as soon as I finish talking to them, and I've talked to a lot, their legal counsel says, oh, those guys are crazy, don't listen to them. Yeah, because they're British, and they've taken over the country, starting with the Civil War, when they came walking right in here in great numbers, and incorporated everything. That's how they take it over. When you make something incorporated, it's a legal fiction. That's not what the founders created here. The Republic is still here. It has never been removed, and it can't be. It's not a corporation. You can't bankrupt it and close it, like Lincoln did. Finally, the last one, of course, Franklin Roosevelt did, and reincorporated the working federal government, which is a service provider in commerce. It's not the government. It's supposed to be representing us as a service provider. That's why we had a constitution, to have a contract between the first 13 so that they could have somebody put them in commerce. No country on the planet can trade with us. We were a rogue nation, independent. Everybody else is incorporated. Commerce is only done by people who are incorporated. It's a closed process, legal fiction only. And we were not. We were sovereign on the land. That's what happened here. Britain wanted their colonies back. French wanted their colonies back. They created the Civil War. They planned it themselves. We wouldn't have known that except Russia was invited to the party and they blew the whistle and came in and protected us. That's what happened. So, who's the highest law enforcer in a county? The sheriff. We don't have one in 36 counties, not even one. And I spent 2 hours with Jackson County, and he understood. But as soon as I left, his Bar Association member told him, don't talk to these guys anymore.
Bobby, I'm going to have to ask you to wrap it up.
That's the problem. Be careful who you're listening to. Bar members have never studied American law. There's no credit given to it in any university in America. They
Appreciate it.
study the King's law.
Thank you.
Stay there till I'm gonna yield my time to you. Thomas Siniscale, 4155 Northeast 3 Mile Lane.
Can you come up to the microphone and say that, please?
Thomas Siniscale, 4155 Northeast 3 Mile Lane. Number 42. And I am a constituent of this county. And when he says that the lawyers are the problem, that is true. And if you don't realize that, you're not paying attention. The rest of my time, I yield to Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. I've been on this path for quite a long time because my grandfather was very important here. My cousin was a senator. The Graves family are probably related to half of the Yamhill County today. They gave us free land. That's why they came out here. My uncle came out with the Donner Party, but instead of going down and dying in the snow, he came up with Applegate. Jesse was bringing people over the new trail, and he was the first one over that trail. With Mrs. Brown, if you've been to the state capitol, her name is right at the top of the list. She founded Pacific University with 6.5 cents. These people created a magnificent thing. And it can't be removed because somebody bankrupts it. You can't bankrupt what's not incorporated. Bankruptcy is the closing of the corporation. And you've all been incorporated when you were born. That's why your birth certificate is a bond paper. You've been securitized by the European fractional banking system called the Central Bank of the World. They run and own everything. And the Bar Association has a temple. It's the Middle Temple. There's 4 temples there on land that's never been England. William the Conqueror bypassed the place. He gave them a charter. They became a city-state. Templar Knights planted the Pope's flag. He owns it. Now it's the Vatican. They own all the law. They own all the money, and it's not money, it's just credit. The greenback dollar is not money, never has been. It's just a credit. And you have unlimited credit because Franklin Roosevelt gave you unlimited credit when he took away all the gold, which is money, and gave it to the Federal Reserve. So you have a trust, unlimited trust, and every single sheriff is supposed to be looking at that because every judge knows what he's doing when he puts you into a courtroom. He goes into your trust because you're in dishonor, because you did not redeem the bonds that he put against your case number that you didn't even know about. A bid bond, a performance bond, a payment bond. That's why you are, in fact, in incorporated legal fiction yourself, sitting right here. I'm not. I've done my paperwork all the way to the federal government. I own all my trade names. I don't have any trade names anymore. I own them. It's a very serious fine to use them without my permission. You need to know what's going on. It's your job to do that. I think Sam Elliott's probably a good man, but he's being deceived like everybody else.
I'm going to have to ask you to wrap it up, Bobby.
Just do your job. That's all you have to do.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Up next, we have Ron Ruman. Name and address, Mr. Ruman, and you have 3 minutes.
Am I speaking clear enough?
I can hear you.
This is a petition for redress of grievance. We have 36 sheriffs on Oregon, and not one of them has a proper oath. Not one of them has fulfilled the obligations of ORS 206 and DPSST. And that doesn't seem right to me. Sam has gone farther than the other 35 in dealing with us and bringing forth his paperwork, but it's not right. And you have to understand that Article 7 amended in the Oregon Constitution is bogus. It's illegitimate. It's illegal. And I've been writing about this for quite a while, started in 2017. And since then, they have not been able to clean their act up. Doesn't appear they're going to. So now it comes to the county commissioners. You have a sheriff that cannot fulfill the obligations of his office. He hasn't done it in the time he's had. We've met with him. We've talked with him. Everything that we know how to do has been done. And we cannot get Sam Elliott to comply with what needs to be complied with for an Oregon sheriff. So now it comes to you. The county commissioners has a sheriff that will not comply, has not complied. So if you can fulfill your obligation to replace your sheriff because he cannot comply, then you will have done your job. However, you could refuse to do that also. And then you would be in the same position that Sam is in. Misprision of felony. You know, and you're in a position to change it and correct it and to make the situation right, and you don't. So that's misprision of felony. That's a position Sam's in. He knows and he hasn't corrected it. And he has all those deputies out in the street that aren't correct either. And they're all playing pretend in color of law. So now, is the Yamhill County Commission prepared to do their job? Or does it go from misprision of felony into accessory after the fact? You know that a felony has been done and you choose not to do anything about it. When do you become an accessory to that? I yield.
Thank you, Ron.
Hi, I'm Eric Dover with the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, and I have some messages for the Oregon sheriffs. Where are sheriffs? Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon. Why? Because our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. It is our county sheriffs that should be there to assist seniors to prevent their eviction from their home and all they possess. It should be our county sheriffs who protect and defend the people from a corrupt court system, rather than ticketing them or supporting the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts. Our sheriffs seem to be avoiding any engagement with us, the people reaching out for a conversation about their refusal to see us. Contact requests are met with cricket sounds. Where are sheriffs? It is significant that they take a proper oath to the Constitution, circa 1859, with its original jurisdiction, that is, to the people rather than to a corporation, to our Creator, that is, with God included. Such a dejuration, an oath, is needed for there to be remedy in our system of governance. Let's get this ball rolling. It just takes one of you to make a difference, to get it started, to assist in awakening your colleagues in sheriffdom. Let it be so.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. and we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.